Imagine spending days without talking, reading, journaling, watching TV, or even making eye contact. Just you, your thoughts, and silence. Sounds peaceful or terrifying? A few weeks ago, as part of my meditation and yoga teacher training in Bali, we had a chance to do a 3-day silent retreat. And this video is about my experience. Silent retreats are designed to remove distractions and external noise so you can fully focus on your inner world. No small talk, no checking your phone, no escaping into books or music, just being present. These retreats vary in length from a weekend to several months. Some are guided, others self-directed. And one of the most well-known forms of silent retreat is vipassana. Vipassana is an ancient meditation technique that comes from Buddhism. The word means seeing things as they really are. It's about deep self-observation, watching your breath, your sensations, and your thoughts without reacting to them. So there is Vipassana retreats that last minimum 10 days. There is also dark retreats where people spend days in total darkness completely alone. This is meant to enhance inner vision and deepen meditation. And there is other silent retreats, more relaxed, sometimes including yoga, nature walks, and occasional group discussions. This is the type of silent retreat I did. So that was a 200-hour meditation and yoga teacher training in Bali over 25 days. And at the end of week 2, we were supposed to enter this silent retreat. I had never done anything like that before, although I always wanted to do Vipassana, but somehow I never had a chance. So I was really excited about it. I thought we would be able to do at least eye contact. Also, I thought I would be able to be journaling because I was sure to have a lot of insights, and I was actually looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to dive deep, get some ideas, because I always, this is what I have, in my everyday to-day life. I go on walks without music, without any distractions, and I come back with tons of ideas. I go on meditations and I come out with tons of inspiration and tons of ideas. And this is what I thought actually was the point of all of it. So I was really excited about it. And then I realized that it's going to be nothing like that. And that's not the point of a silent retreat. We were not supposed to have any eye contact at all. Not only with other people, not even with yourself. We had all the mirrors covered for these 3 days. So you were not even supposed to look in the mirror. You're not supposed to be journaling. You're not supposed to be writing anything, doing any creative writing, no painting, nothing, not reading a book, not listening to music. The point of the silent retreat is to go inwards and basically just observe the thoughts, observe your feelings, observe your boredom, observe any pain, anything that would come up. Just observe without any attachment, without going deep into that. Yeah, you get inspired, you get an interesting thought, you get, I don't know, a vision, whatever it is, and you just let it be. You put it on a shelf. And if it's meant to be, when you come out, you have all the chances to write it down, paint, draw, create. But during the silence, you're just an observer. You do not engage with any thoughts, with anything. Because if you do, you start expressing your inner world instead of just observing it. And a few days before, they started preparing us for that. So we were told that, okay, that can be difficult. You're going into silence. It's possible that it's going to be difficult. It's possible that it's going to be tough. It's possible you're going to cry. You're going to go through some emotions. You're going to go through pain. You're going to process a lot of stuff. And if that happens, then you can come see us or whatever. This could be of help. This could be of help. So I honestly started expecting something really profound to be happening, like something really, really deep. I was expecting a lot of pain to resurface, and I was excited about it because I had been doing my inner work and my healing for the past few years now, and I was actually excited to see, okay, what's left? What is there? What else is there? What's left? Let me work on it. So I was really expecting. And we also had some conversations with people who had done it before, and some people who did not even complete it, did not complete 3 days because it was just too hard. Because silence can bring out some trauma, it can bring the trauma response. For some people, silence means like, okay, I'm being ignored, I'm being punished, I'm not loved. And yeah, that can be very, very, very difficult. So there you go, we entered the silent retreat. How it all happens. So for 3 days we were meditating. We had a yoga practice every day. We had longer breaks during those 3 days. And we had also a Q&A session at the end of each day. We explored different types of meditations. And and basically this is it. What happened during those 3 days? First of all, we were all extremely tired. I guess the fatigue from the previous days accumulated as well. But also, probably inner work is not that easy, and we were sleeping. I mean, at that point I did not know. I was taking naps all the time, but after we came out of it and when we discussed, turns out everybody was extremely tired. So we were taking longer naps, and instead of like an hour lunch break during those 3 days, we had 2.5 hour lunch break. And honestly, we slept through the entire lunch break, and I would go to bed at 8 p.m. because I was just exhausted. Other than that, for me, it was a very, very pleasant experience. And honestly, I was enjoying silence a lot. And I realized how much energy I actually spend on social interactions, especially since it was a completely new group, It was kind of like an adult camp, how my kids would call it. Meeting different people, not one, not two, but like 13, 14 other people. All this communication, building relationships and getting to know each other, that was draining me a lot, as I realized. So I was really enjoying this rest. I was really enjoying this silence. I could focus on myself. I didn't have to worry about talking to people, showing up there. I was just like in my little bubble. Although it wasn't, for me, like it was still distracting to meditate in the room full of people. That was still kind of distracting. During those 3 days, we also had like 10, I think, other people coming to the retreat just specifically for this silent retreat. So instead of like 15, we were 25, 10 new people. And you still have to be kind of mindful, of the people around you. For me, that was a bit distracting. In terms of inner work, I can't say that was tough. I cannot say that. I was expecting to like the bubble to burst and me going into tears, me going into pain and stuff like that. But there was nothing like that. And we were approaching the first Q&A session, and I was like, I don't have any questions, like probably nobody does. But then I was really surprised when I saw that box full of papers with questions, and I was like, whoa, people do have questions. And listening to those questions, I realized how much pain people are in. People are struggling. People are suffering, people are confused, people are facing their fears, and yeah, People are having those deep and profound insights and experiences and questions. And at that point, I actually caught some FOMO. I was like, maybe I'm not meditating deep enough. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Like, why I'm not having that? Why I'm not going that deep? On day 2, I think we had a meditation that was involving like memories from the past. And I did have the whole meditation. I had different memories that resurfaced that I was actually very surprised, to have, because it was like very insignificant, small moments. All of them were negative at the time. All of them carried like some sort of pain at the time. But this time I just looked at them, just like short video clips, and they were just there. And I looked at them and they just went wherever they came from. Absolutely no pain, no emotional charge in those memories. And that's when I realized I don't have any more pain left. I don't. I had really been doing the inner work for so long that I had nothing left. I do not want to suffer anymore. And listening to some of the questions, you realize that people do choose suffering sometimes, because it's, I guess, satisfying. Like, why do people choose to suffer sometimes? Victim mode gives them something to do. It's just, I'm at the point in life when negative situations still happen even now, but now I know that I always have a choice to go and suffer and cry about it, or just look at it from a different perspective, like, okay, what's in it for me? Why this is happening to me? What's the lesson? Do I choose to engage with this, or do I just choose to let it go? Can I change something? Can I do something about it? If not, what's the point? What's the point in suffering? So I realized that I don't want to suffer anymore. All that pain that we had in the past, all that trauma, it's very tasty and delicious to, to look at it and to play that victim, and trust me, I've had some crazy things happening to me, honestly. Sometimes I actually wonder, how did I stay sane after everything that happened? And yet, I'm past it. It's done. It's over. It's in the past. I'm actually grateful for everything I've had. I'm grateful for every single person who caused me pain, who was not good to me. No matter how negative and how bad at the time the situation and the person was, I chose that in my life. I needed that. My soul chose that experience. That was a learning experience for me. And I just sent so much love to everybody and everything and every moment in my life when I wasn't doing that good. And I came out of this 3 days of silence feeling so at peace, feeling so light, and in so much love with my life, feeling so much joy and love towards my life. I love my life, and I just want to enjoy it now. That's it. The hardest work is, and I was also telling myself, hey, Transformation doesn't have to be painful. You know, like we see those videos on social media of people crying, screaming, like going, oh, like crazy, you know, having those deep, profound spiritual journeys. And you get an impression that, okay, hard work has to be hard. But no, transformation doesn't have to be hard and difficult and painful. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be, you know. And if you are not experiencing pain, it doesn't mean that you're not moving forward. It doesn't mean that you are not going through your transformation. It doesn't mean that you are not doing your inner work well enough. And at the sharing circle after the silent retreat, I shared all that thoughts with everybody else. And my teacher said this: if you do your homework, you go into a spiritual practice, experience in the spiritual work, and you experience joy. You don't do your homework, you don't do your inner work, you experience pain. And I have done my homework. It seems like I have done my homework, and I'm so happy about it, and I'm so proud. And hearing those questions that people asked, I did see myself in those questions. I did see myself. I could relate to those struggles and fears and pain. I had that. I was there years ago. I was like, that's me, like 5-10 years ago. Not anymore. I'm not there anymore. I'm past it. I'm done. I'm complete. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready for the next level of inner work. I'm ready for the next level of transformation. And that's a very, very freeing and liberating feeling, and very motivational. That was my experience with the silence. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Next time I would probably do a dark retreat. Share your thoughts, what you think about it. Have you ever done it? How was it for you? I'll be very, very excited to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you for watching. See you next time.